بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. My dear respected ulama kiram, Hufaz kiram, elders and brothers in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us all with the wealth of Iman, the wealth of the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is the greatest ni'mat which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bestow upon any person, more than the blessings and the ni'mats and the favors of the material things of this world, of health, of wealth, of families, of cars, of jobs. More than that, the greatest ni'mat is this ni'mat of Iman. This yaqeen that we have in our heart, that there is none worthy of worship besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the final messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that our success and our peace, our contentment, our happiness, our protection lies in obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the key to Jannat. Without this Iman, without this yaqeen on this kalima, a person won't enter into Jannat. On the day of Qiyamah, when all the people will be finished, everybody entered into Jannat, the last person to come out of Jahannam and enter into Jannat, the last person, even the Malaika also won't know that this person has got Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take him out and put him into Jannat, and he will get such a size of Jannat, 10 times the size of this earth, 10 times the size of this universe. 10 times that size just because of this Iman. So how much of shukr we need to make to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how grateful we need to be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this Iman. And for this Iman, one is the shukr which we need to make, and the more we make shukr, the ulama ikram explain that shukr is such an amal which whatever ni'mats a person has, Allah ta'ala keeps those ni'mats with him because of that shukr. And whatever ni'mats he doesn't have, Allah ta'ala brings those ni'mats also. So if we make shukr for this Iman, Allah Ta'ala will protect our Iman. And Allah Ta'ala will give us the strength of Iman. Allah Ta'ala will increase our Iman. When this Iman now becomes strong, then all the sifat of Iman, all the qualities which this Iman needs, that's also Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala will grant us those qualities. There's many qualities a person needs to have for this Iman. When this Iman is strong in a person's heart, then automatically these ni'mats, these qualities come. Allah Ta'ala blesses a person with these qualities. And many qualities, one of the main qualities which we always hear about also is the quality of taqwa. That when a person has Iman, then a person naturally, depending on how high his level of Iman is, that's how much of taqwa he will have. That's how much of taqwa he will have. And this taqwa, in every action, in the object of every ibadah, the object of every action is that how we can get this taqwa in our life. How we can bring this taqwa. What is taqwa? Simple and easy. You might have heard also, Hazrat Maulana Qari Muhammad Siddhat Sahab also came last week to Masjid Bilal. Also he explained about this taqwa. Simple, easy is obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, staying away from those things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped us from. Just having a consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That all the time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at me. Allah ta'ala knows what my thoughts are. What I am saying also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. What is going through my heart also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of. Allah ta'ala is aware of. This is the taqwa. So all the ibadat in the month of Ramadan, we heard also, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kutiba alaykum as-siyamu, kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, la'allakum tattaqun. That we bring this taqwa into our lives. And in Hajj also, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions regarding Hajj in the Quran Sharif, al-Hajju ashhurum ma'lumat, faman farada fihinna al-Hajja, fala rafatha wala fusuqa wala jidala fil Hajj, wa ma taf'alu min khairin ya'lamhu Allah, wa tazawwadu fa inna khayra az-zadi at-taqwa. That take your provisions and go for Hajj. Take provisions and go for Hajj. But the best provision is taqwa. The best provision is taqwa. وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ لِمَنِ اتَّقَى. That taqwa. All the time the emphasis is on this taqwa. This taqwa, if a person gets this quality into his life, this imani sifat of taqwa. When a person's iman is strong, then this taqwa comes. So we need to work on our iman, and slowly this taqwa will come into our hearts. This taqwa will come into us. And once the taqwa comes into us, then everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make easy. Akhirat, that belongs to the people of taqwa. In the dunya also, the outcome, وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Outwardly, apparently, whatever might be taking place in the dunya, whatever might be happening, different conditions coming upon the ummah, all halat are coming up. Sometimes the ummah is up, sometimes it's down, sometimes they're ghalib, they are ruling, sometimes they are being ruled by other people. وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلتَّقْوَى. وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلتَّقْوَى. The outcome will be for those people who have taqwa. For those people who have taqwa, in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make all the results, all the nataij, whatever has to happen will be according to this taqwa. Will be according to this taqwa. So we need to bring this taqwa into our life. When this taqwa comes into a person's life, the akhirat, that is definite. إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. The people who have taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts their a'mal, and through their barakat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and through the barakat of this taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter them into Jannah. That is why many pious buzrugs, they would say that if I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted even one sajda of mine, even one sajda of mine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted, I'll be very happy. Why? Because Allah ta'ala will only accept it if I got this quality of taqwa. إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. So even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts one sajda of mine, one amal of mine, whatever amal it is, Allah ta'ala accepts it, that means I got this taqwa. So for this taqwa, now when a person has this taqwa, what benefits you will get? In the akhirat, one is the jannat that a person will get. But in the dunya also, Allah ta'ala will make all his work easy. Every difficulty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take him out through the barakat of this taqwa. We explain taqwa is obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, staying away from those things which Allah ta'ala has stopped us from. If we make any guna, if we make any sin, then we make tawbah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Allah ta'ala will forgive us. The taqwa comes back. That taqwa comes back. That we made tawbah now, we made istighfar. We got an intention that regret is there in the heart. And you made intention that you're not going to come back to this. So that is the taqwa. When a person has this taqwa, then whatever he needs also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill it. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. That when a person has taqwa, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way out of every difficulty. Whatever difficulty the ummah is going through, whatever difficulty we are going through, as individuals also. As individuals, the solution and the way to come out of it is to adopt taqwa. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whether it is in our personal lives, whether it is in with our families, in our houses, whether we're having any other problems, any other difficulties with our wives, our children, our business, or financial issues, whatever problem it is, the way to come out of this problem is to adopt taqwa. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. And how Allah Ta'ala makes that way out, we won't even understand. But the problem which was like a mountain yesterday, Allah Ta'ala will make it like it's nothing. It will just disappear. And enough examples. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Allah Ta'ala will give him his rizq and his rozi from such sources and such places where his mind also can't even think. His mind can't even understand that how did this become a means of my rizq and rozi. Just one incident comes to mind now. Allah Ta'ala put in a mind. Hazrat Maulana Abdul Hamid Sahib Damat Barakatuhum was in Durban a few months ago, and then he gave one incident regarding one person in Medina Munawwara. And then I mentioned it in another place in Stanger, and one of the old workers there, maybe some of the brothers also might know him, he came and he said, no, he heard that same incident from Hazrat Maulana Sayyid Ahmad Khan Sahib, rahmatullahi, which Maulana Abdul Hamid Sahib himself mentioned. So, the incident, ajib incident, how Allah Ta'ala gives rizq and rozi. This happened to the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, happened to the Tabi'een, the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, countless incidents. But one incident which happened now recently, in our time, Allah Ta'ala made it such. There was one person in Medina Munawwara, Maulana Abdul Hamid explained this incident. One person in Medina Munawwara, he was collecting some money. He wanted to invest it some way, so he started collecting little bit. So he got about 21,000 riyals. He got 21,000 riyals. So one day he decided that he's going to go out and he's going to look for some business, whatever, and he'll invest this money, buy and sell, maybe he make some business, buy certain goods and sell it. So he went out, he was looking where he needs to go, he came across, there was an auction. So in an auction, they were auctioning a plot of land. So what happened? So he was there, so anyway they started bidding for that land, they say 15. From 15 they started. So anyway, you know how the auctions go, 15, then 15 and a half or whatever, then 16, 16, whatever, a little bit extra, 17, 18, 19. When it came to 20, nobody was bidding. Nobody was bidding. So this person, he thought, actually I got 21, so let me offer 21 and see, if he get accepted, he gets accepted, I get the plot of land. So he bid 21. He bid 21. So anyway, the auctioneer, whoever was there, he said, you know what, anybody else bid more than 21, nobody bid more than 21. Nobody bid more than 21. So they say, okay, we sell it to you. We sell it to you. They called him after whatever the auction was. They took his details down, everything, signed all the documents. Now you must transfer the money into our account, whatever it is. But anyway, you won the bid, you won. Now you bought that land. So that day, that night, somebody came to that auctioneer and he's telling the auctioneer that, you see, I need that plot of land. For whatever reason now, maybe he had some business which he wanted to start. He needed that land. That was the right land. So the auctioneer is telling him, I already sold it. We already signed everything. The documents, everything's finished. I can't sell it to you. It's finished. So he said, no, I'll give you 25. I'll give you 25. You give me that plot of land. The guy said, no, I can't. If I'm going to give it now, it's going to become a problem, So I can't give you this land. It's already decided that person, he won the bid. You should have came at the time of auction. Anyway, this person now, he's forcing the issue that, I want that land. In the end, the auctioneer told him, see, I can't sell it to you, but if you go to that person and you make an agreement with him and he sells it to you, then I don't have no problem. I can give you his details. Anyway, he gave the details of the person who won the auction. He told him that you can go. So he went now to that person, to the person who won the bid, that person who collected that money, and now he won the bid. So he won the bid. So this person came to him, he's telling him, I need that land. So this person is saying, no, I can't sell it to you, whatever. So anyway, in the end, he said, okay, I'll give you 25. You sell me the land. So this person said, no problem. You give me 25. But what you do is you put the 21 directly into that auctioneer's account. You put 21 directly into that auctioneer's account. You put the 4 in my account. So it doesn't come in my account, then I must pay that guy. You put it directly into his account, and then just the extra, the 4 you put in my account. After a few days, you see in his account, 4 million riyals came in. Now he's saying, what happened? This guy hit a miss here. What happened? How come I got 4 million riyals? Maybe he put some extra zeros, whatever, zeros. So he phoned the guy, asking the guy, what happened? Like, you put 4 million riyals, So the guy told him that, see, actually, they were bidding in millions. They were bidding in millions. 15 million, not 15,000. Now this guy, he was thinking, it's 15,000. It was 15 million, 16 million, but at 21 million. He bought it at 21 million. He only had 21,000. He only had 21,000. When that person paid that auctioneer, and he paid him the 4 million, then only he realized that it was 4 million. Allah Ta'ala gave it to him like that. Allah Ta'ala gave it to him like that. So when a person has taqwa, then Allah Ta'ala opens up his rizq and his rozi. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. From such places where a person can't even understand, Allah Ta'ala gives him that rizq and that rozi. And if a person doesn't have taqwa, then on the other hand, as we mentioned, a person, he tries his best, he tries to fulfill the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if he goes against the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala made it so easy for us that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave similar targheeb and similar virtue for istighfar. That a person, if he makes istighfar, then Allah Ta'ala will give him the same thing which he will get with taqwa. Man lazima al-istighfar. It comes in a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Man lazima al-istighfar. جعل الله له من كل ضيق مخرجا ومن كل هم فرجا ورزقه من حيث لا يحتسب أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. So on the other hand, one hand we got taqwa, the other hand if we make a mistake, we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in istighfar. Allah ta'ala will grant us through the istighfar the same benefit that we will get through taqwa. That man lazim al-istighfar, that person holds on to istighfar. He clings to istighfar. All the time he makes istighfar. All the time, astaghfirullah, whatever a person thinks about his guna, at that time he must make istighfar. He makes a guna, same time he makes istighfar. Don't delay. At the same time you make the istighfar, at the same time you make the tawbah. And the person who makes this, who clings to tawbah and istighfar, Allah Ta'ala will make a way out of every difficulty for him. Whatever his worries is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove that worry. And Allah Ta'ala will give him his rizq and his rozi from such places where he can't even understand, where he can't even fathom, where he can't even think. Allah Ta'ala will give him his rizq and his rozi. Countless of incidents. Together with that, a person brings taqwa into his life. Then وَإِن تَتَّقُوا وَتَصْبِرُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. If you bring taqwa into your life, you have sabr on the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, patience, in carrying out the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in staying away from guna. Whatever difficulties come to us in the process of obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, staying away from guna, we make sabr on that. Then la yadurrukum kayduhum shay'a. Then all the plans of all the kuffar put together, la yadurrukum, it will not harm you in the least bit. Through this taqwa, through the barakat of this taqwa. And at the moment, how much of plans is being made against the ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, against our iman, against our taqwa, against our haya, our modesty, against our way of life, how we use our money, the food that we eat, in every aspect, they are plotting and they are planning to put the haram inside, to make us think wrong, to come onto the wrong ways. But if we keep this taqwa in our life, then la yadurrukum kaydum shay'a. Whatever plans they are making against us, all will go to fail. Whatever, whether it's against our lives, whether it's against our wealth, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it go down the drain. Allah ta'ala will grant the Muslim nusrat. In tattaqu wa tasbiru, la yadurrukum kaydum shay'a. Wattaqullaha wa yu'allimukumullah. Bring taqwa into your life. Allah ta'ala will tell us, Allah ta'ala will inspire us what needs to be done at this moment in time. Allah ta'ala will make the means for us to learn and for us to understand that at this moment, this is what we should be doing. At this moment, what we should be doing. Allah ta'ala will make it such that Allah ta'ala will give it to us at that moment in time that no, this is not the right thing. This is the right thing. This is not how I should be speaking. This is not how I should be doing this business deal. Allah ta'ala will put it into our heart and Allah ta'ala will make us find the right way, either through asking ulama kiram or sitting in the company of pious people. And this taqwa, my dear respected elders and brothers, together with all these benefits, how are we going to get this taqwa? Allah Ta'ala in the Quran Sharif says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu attaqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. That, O people of Iman, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be with those people who are true to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In all their matters, they look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, what Allah Ta'ala's command is, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us to do. And we stay in their company, then slowly the taqwa which they have, that will come into our mizaj, that will come into our understanding. And through that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inspire us and grant us that sifat of taqwa. And this is the recipe which came down from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam to the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, to the Tabi'een, to the Tabi' Tabi'een. This is a silsila, a chain. That you sit in a company of pious people, you sit in a company of those who have taqwa, and they sit in the company of those people who have taqwa, and through that slowly, right up to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like how our ilm also came to us like that we learn from our asatiza, they learn from their asatiza, with a sanad, with a chain of narrators. Similarly, this taqwa also came down to us through this chain of narrators. And the day we try to break ourselves, Allah Ta'ala protect us, Allah Ta'ala save us, that we try to break ourselves from this silsila, from this chain, and we think, no, we'll get taqwa on our own way. That's the day when we will lose this taqwa. The only way to get this taqwa is to sit in a company of those people who have this taqwa. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا وَجَعَلْنَا رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi brings this in his kitab also, and the tafsir which he brings, وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا نَقْتَدِي بِمَنْ قَبْلَنَا وَيَقْتَدِي بِنَا مَنْ بَعْدَنَا. We will follow those pious people amongst us who had this quality of taqwa. Then those people who are after us, they will follow us. And in that way, we will become a means of guiding those people who have taqwa. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Oh Allah, make me an imam for those people who have taqwa. Make me an imam for those people who have taqwa. How are we going to get that? Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi says, نَقْتَدِي بِمَنْ قَبْلَنَا وَيَقْتَدِي بِنَا مَنْ بَعْدَنَا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all this quality of taqwa, bring it into our lives. And through this quality of taqwa, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove all the halat that is coming down on the ummah, whether it is here in our country, whether it is in Palestine, whether it is in Sudan, in China, the whole world, all the halat that is coming in the whole world, all of it, not only in one country, in Palestine. What is happening in Palestine? We need to cry tears of blood for what is happening in Palestine, but together in the world also, where there's halat coming down upon the ummah. And the only solution, and the 100% solution from the Quran and Hadith, is to bring this taqwa into our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq.